Hey, what's up? I'm Josh, and this video is sponsored by headphones.com. More about them in a second. I want to start this video off with a simple question. Would you rather have System A, which is a single expensive headphone, doesn't have to be this one, or System B, which is multiple headphones, multiple amplifiers, and they cost the same amount? Now, I would actually genuinely love for you guys to put that in the comment section down below and explain your reasoning. And I'm going to explain why I think that System B is better when you have a budget for a system. But first, headphones.com, which is a high quality and trusted online retailer of all sorts of different headphones, speakers, amplifiers, and DACs. They're a great online store with some excellent customer service, 365-day returns, payment options if you want to split it up. And they even have their own YouTube channel with their own YouTube personalities who can give you their takes on these headphones. They're extremely informative and knowledgeable, and a great resource if you're looking at headphone reviews. I would check them out in the links down below. Again, headphones.com. Thanks a lot. Now, I get people emailing me all the time, and one of the most common questions that I get is, I have X budget, how would you spend it? We've talked about this a lot on previous budget episodes. And to be honest, I think a lot of times, instead of recommending a single headphone for the max budget allowance, I like to recommend kind of groups of things. And I want to kind of explain why I think that this is the winning methodology. Now, the budget for this system in front of you is about $1,500. This is about $1,500, and these are about $1,500 total. But I think that the methodology works everything from about $300 to upwards of $10,000, right? So this headphone, this Aria Unveiled, for example, is a better listening experience than any one of these. So if you plug this into either of the amplifiers that are here, they just don't compete with the sound quality of this. However, this as a system, as a total set of sound experiences that you can have, I do think that it's better than that of the Aria Unveiled. And keep in mind that this is just an example. This is not necessarily the headphones I would pick, and this is not necessarily the amplifiers I would pick. It's just kind of an interesting set of components that cover a lot of territory. And this is more of why I would recommend things, is because you get a lot of experience and a lot of diversity and change potential with a system like this over this. This will give you one experience with one sound signature, and hopefully you like it. This will give you a better set of experiences, and in certain cases is legitimately better. So let's talk about that. So you have the Schiit Gunner, which is a little bit of a gaming / audiophile amp with a top knob. It also has a line output, which will be used on the TA26S here, which is a tube amplifier. So you've got a solid state and a tube right away. You also have a microphone input for the gaming options that we have here into the Schiit Gunner. You have USB and optical inputs, so you can run this off of basically any computer, and this can act as your solid state amplifier or your DAC for the TA26. And for the audiophile headphones, the HC600 here and the AR5000, you'll be able to get a solid state and a tube experience, which is not something that you'd be able to get with just this one headphone. And you'd also probably really want to spend a little bit extra even to get an amplifier that can really play this. The Schiit Gunner also has some unique options and EQ adjustments on it, which would be fun to take advantage of for certain things. I might leave it on kind of the reference mode or just the settings off most of the time when I'm listening to music. But if you're playing games with the AR5000, it might be fun every once in a while to turn those on. And then you have the Maxwell, which is going to be your closed back and wireless option, and with a removable mic if you don't like the microphone. This is actually a gaming headphone first, but as a closed back audiophile headphone, it's actually surprisingly good. And the thing is, like, when I'm comparing these two systems, I'm really looking at the totality of what I will hear, the totality of what I will get. And there's really only one specific category that this will pull ahead everything else here. And it's going to be sound staging. The sound staging potential on the Aria Unveiled is just, it's a little bit wider. However, the sound staging on the AR5000 is really, really good. And in my opinion, this does not have $1,000 better sound staging than the AR5000. So you really get close in that particular arena with the AR5000 for a lot less money. When it comes to bass response, I think that the Maxwell is better at bass than the Unveiled. And when it comes to mid-range, it's a bit of a toss-up here, but I think the HC600 is very competitive with the Unveiled. These headphones alone are getting really, really close in some individual areas, but they also come with their own benefits on their own. HC600 is a classic audiophile headphone, and it's been a staple in the audiophile community for a reason. The AR5000 is a little bit newer of a player, but is like going to be, it's going to leave a lasting impression, I think. Every review I've seen of the Aoun is extremely complimentary, mine included. And the Maxwell is in the same boat. It's a little bit premium of a gaming headphone price, but for a closed back wireless audiophile headphone, it's actually on the lower end. And I think it does well with both, honestly. Now, I don't really want to talk about the gear a ton here because that's not really the point. The point is that dividing your experiences up between many that are good, not many that are bad, but many that are good, is usually a better overall experience and overall knowledge boost compared to just one singular headphone. Now, when I said earlier that I find this to be true for $300 systems and all the way up to like $10,000 systems, I do think that this is true. Even if you're looking at high-end headphones as a system, I think, you know, instead of buying one Susvara, you could buy a HE1000 Unveiled, you could buy an Abyss Diana or Joel, you could buy some ZMF headphones, and that is probably what I would do, is divide that budget up into many smaller priced headphones, because all of those together is much better than one Susvara. And it's also true on the opposite end. So if your budget is $300, you could buy one HD 600, and it's a great headphone, but I would rather divide that money up into other things. I'd rather get a small little amplifier, maybe a Shitfola, and maybe a really good IEM that's like under $100, and a really good headphone like an SHP 9600. And you could even go cheaper and get something like one of those really cheap dongles like the Moondrop Dawn Pro. There's lots of options, and I think that people tend to look at the highest priced single item that they can get in that price category, and they don't consider the experience that they would have, the benefit that they would gain from these more kind of bigger systems that have more components. So if you really pick the right products and fight for your dollar value, I think that you can truly get a better budget system this way. So thanks a lot for watching. Thank you Headphones for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.